Hey, how you doing, guys? It's me, Amin again. So let's take a quick look at the markets, guys, because we've had a really interesting 24 hours. Basically, Bitcoin pumped really hard yesterday. I think a lot of the short positions that were on Bitcoin were released, and there was an influx of fluidity in Bitcoin, and we had a really nice pump yesterday. But as my other Bitcoin video, in that Bitcoin video, I did say that we're going to reach the all-time high here, and basically have a sell-off. So one thing I want to quickly show you guys is this upward upward wedge that a lot of people, majority of people were kind of highlighting that we're an upward wedge. I've kind of rejigged this line here on the top here. This line that's kind of behaving as resistance at the moment, and I've kind of drawn it parallel to hit these tops up here, and it's proving to be quite a nice kind of resistance point here, because you can see basically it's that's pretty much where these tops here hit out. So just before the price hit the all-time high, it kind of just topped out on the bottom of this resistance line here, which is it's pretty cool, because we're basically keeping this line intact. Okay, but the thing I want to highlight, guys, and before I actually say that, I do want to say that I did make a video yesterday, last night. I was just going to go to sleep, but I made a video last night to basically cover the market, and just to explain to people not to sell off their altcoins, because if we look at the altcoins, guys, I mean, we're in a red day today, guys, but this isn't even half as bad as what we were seeing yesterday, because Bitcoin was really pumping hard, and what that does, it really does have a damaging effect. A lot of the liquidity goes out from the alternative coins and into Bitcoin. Okay, some of the coins, Neo was in the mid-20s, minus mid-20s yesterday. Look at Ripple, one of the major gainers the other day. Now it's it's one of the major losers against Bitcoin. Okay, so it's had a nice sell-off there. So I made a video yesterday, and unfortunately I had to scrap it because the sound didn't come out properly. But what I do want to tell you guys, there will be on occasions that I do make a video, just to kind of give you guys a heads up there and then, and you probably need to watch it there and then, because if you watch it like 5-6 hours later, the time is probably too late. So what I want to do, guys, is if you guys, for you subscribers out there, if you've subscribed, then you can hit this bell button here. You see this bell button here? If you hit the bell button here, even if you go into like a video, I'm going to Clark Higley's video here.
What's up, guys?
If you subscribe here and you hit the bell button here, then what will happen is you'll get a notification when I put out a video, because now and then I put out a video, or I'll make a tweet. For example, if you go to Twitter, if you follow me on Twitter, then say for example you're following someone on Twitter, you can go to following, and you can go to turn on mobile notifications. For example, here I've turned on mobile notifications for Carter Thomas. Alternatively as well, on Facebook, basically it depends where you're following someone. If you're following someone, for example Steve Lawson here, someone I follow, you could go to see first here. Okay, so if you're more on Facebook than Twitter, then you can just go to the profile, if you're friends with me or if you're following me or what have you. Instead of default, you can go to see first. That way what will happen is when I do put out a tweet, or like a video, or whatever it is, about a certain situation that you need to be notified there and then obviously you're going to get that message straight away, and you're going to benefit from it then. Often, guys, if you kind of get the notification like a few hours late, then the time has already passed. So anyway, that video I was going to put out yesterday was all about basically do not sell your altcoins, because I was seeing a lot of messages on Twitter, on Facebook, on my YouTube channel, that there people were kind of panicking, and I could see there was a lot of panic selling going on. And I was looking through all the coins, and I was just like so gobsmacked on how cheap some of the coins were. I mean, let's take a look at Digibyte, for example. I mean, there was a lot of people selling down here, right? I mean, look at how cheap look at how cheap Digibyte is right now. I mean, it went all the way down to 225 satoshis, right? So, you know, it could potentially come down more now that it's broken this support line. But saying that, I mean, really and truly, look how oversold it is. I mean, when was the last time it got this oversold? Let's look at the 12 hour. Okay, I mean, this is really oversold conditions here, guys. Yeah, all of the coins at the moment, all of the altcoins are very, very, very oversold. Okay, and obviously this is mainly due to Bitcoin having a big pump. But the thing I wanted to notify people about is, look, Bitcoin, it is having a big pump, and I do expect it to break the all-time high. I've been saying that for a long time. Okay, I'm ultimately bullish on Bitcoin. I'm expecting it to rebound off this all-time high and come down a bit, especially seems though, look, we're getting very overbought on the 12 hour. But that doesn't mean that it can't just break through. I mean, there's a lot of there are a lot of market manipulators out there, right? If some big whales come in and just start to, you know, push the market up, then that's what's going to happen, right? But in terms of the technical aspect, we're heading towards the overbought zone on the higher time frame. So the 12 hour and the 6 hour, you can see the 6 hours very, very overbought here. So what that means for me is that we can expect a pullback over the next day or so, day or two, right? But you know, seems like how bullish Bitcoin is. I mean, we're really, when it's this bullish, I mean, what we can expect it sometimes is a smaller pullback and then just a consolidation, like it's flagging up here. I mean, this is extremely bullish. If it just consolidates in this zone right here, if it just consolidates in this zone right here and allows the higher time frames to just to kind of settle down on the oscillators, then that's extremely bullish, guys, on Bitcoin, in my opinion, anyway, right? So anyway, so the point I'm trying to make about the altcoins, guys, is let's take a look at some of the altcoins. If we take a look at Neo, right? Okay, so Neo, yesterday I made a video and I said basically I expected when it hit this this bottom here and we had this big bullish bounce back. Look, on the 6 hour candles we had a huge bullish bounce. I was basically expecting this to be the bottom for Neo, right? Because it correlated with a huge kind of support zone in the past. But what happened was, look, basically because Bitcoin was so bullish, and this is being traded against Bitcoin here. Obviously, if you look at the US dollar chart, it looks similar but not as bearish because it hasn't come down all the way down here. But I was basically saying to people, whatever you do, do not sell. If you're bag holding, if you've been buying here, and you know, there's a lot of people thinking, oh, you know, they're just seeing their portfolio go down in price and, you know, collapsing, and you know, you get that emotion that, oh, is it gonna go down more? Is it gonna go down more? Maybe I'll lose all of my money. And there's so many people here that sell right at the bottom. You know, they sell right at the bottom because of that fear, right? Because they'll think, well, I might as well cut my losses at 50% instead of 100%, right? But the thing is, guys, when the conditions, you know, become this oversold, look, on Neo, you know, we can basically now we can expect a pullback. You know, admittedly, in my video yesterday I said, okay, well, this is a decent place to buy, right? Because it's, you know, it's looking very oversold. But obviously we had one final push down onto the next support zone, and basically we're bouncing back off of there. Okay, which you can see now we're bouncing back off of there. Okay, obviously for Neo there were other contributing factors because of the whole ICO situation as well. But in general, guys, like, it's not a time to be selling now. Now is a time to be accumulating and buying more. You know, if you were stopped out here in Bitcoin, then it's a double benefit, because what would have happened is you would have been benefiting from the rise in price in Bitcoin as up here, and as Bitcoin reaches the top, it's basically you can move that value, transfer that money, basically the transfer the value into something that is cheaper, right? Into something that's you're expecting to have a bounce. So you're constantly, you know, as you're shifting, as you're getting stopped out in Bitcoin and Bitcoin starts going up, the value of your portfolio is going up. As Bitcoin consolidates at the top and we have a bounce on the altcoins, you shift some of that some of those finances into specific altcoins that you know is going to have a bounce. Like one altcoin that I know always has a good bounce when these things happen is Syscoin. So let's take a look at Syscoin. So as we can see here, look on the 4-hour chart, we've had a nice bounce on Syscoin, and it's actually a 20% bounce, right? So, you know, 20 to 21% bounce, which, you know, I'm expecting it to bounce harder, maybe up to this point here. All right. Yeah, I'm expecting this bounce to last a bit longer, maybe come up to this zone here, right? So that's, look, it's pumping slightly more, right? So, you know, basically, guys, it's, you know, you shouldn't, when the market is like that, if you've been bag holding right from the top, if you've been buying at the top, you know, you should have been stopped out. You should have a stop loss. If your aim is to hold, then your aim is to hold. You shouldn't be worried about it. But I had a lot of people kind of message me and say, you know, basically panicking with Litecoin. Look at the situation with Litecoin, guys. There's a lot of bag holders with Litecoin, okay? But look at how oversold it is. I mean, I haven't seen this oversold like this for, really, it's, you know, it's the most oversold it's been for how long? Let's okay, let's draw a line here from here. Okay, let's continue this line. Let's see. Okay, let's just say, for argument's sake, we're taking this zone here. Okay, that's August the 24th, 2015. Okay, on the 4-hour candle, on the 4-hour candles, it hasn't been, and in fact it's more oversold than that, because look where the line is, right? If I go back, right, you can see where the line is, right? So on the 4-hour candle, guys, Litecoin hasn't been this oversold since 2015, and probably earlier. I don't think it, you know, on the 4-hour I've ever seen it this oversold, right? So imagine the people that are selling, all of these people panic selling Litecoin here, right here. This is the best price. This is, you know, basically one of the best prices you'll be able to buy Litecoin for a long time. Let's have a look at the actual US dollar price here. I mean, although, you know, the US dollar price hasn't obviously gone back to, you know, the prices that we saw, you know, a few months ago, but below $50, $49, it came down to around $46 or something. So obviously, you know, against the US dollar, it's gonna behave differently, because, you know, Bitcoin is going up. You know, the whole actual, you know, value against the US dollar is going up. But against Bitcoin, you know, that's what you want to see, really. You know, can you buy a coin that will be going up against Bitcoin as the value of Bitcoin goes up long term? You want to be accumulating more and more Bitcoin. Okay, so that's why you want to be buying these coins that are traded against Bitcoin, but that are very, very oversold, because as they, you know, come back to normality, you know, they're going to start performing well against Bitcoin. Okay, so that's that's it, guys. So basically, I hope you guys did not sell your altcoins unless you got stopped out, which is good. If you got stopped out, then you should have some capital to buy back these altcoins now. Guys, when you get stopped out of these coins, you're basically just kind of, look at Civic here, had a nice, from down here, look at where Civic came to, right at the bottom, guys. It literally came right to the bottom, like right to the original bottom, right? I mean, basically, guys, it's had 100% from here to there. It's had 100% retraced now, which is, you know, it's astonishing. But you know, you could say now is the time to buy, you know, but the thing is, a lot of people were panicking, were too scared, right? So, you know, you really have to kind of keep your emotions in check, guys. And you know, if you've been buying at the higher prices, then you really need to keep your tight stops, okay? If not, you know, you're going to be holding long term. Eventually the prices will recover and you will get you know, another market cycle to sell your coins into, right? So that's pretty much it for me, guys. I hope that helps. And you know, as for what I'm expecting, I'm expecting the altcoins to bounce back personally, okay? Bitcoin, I'd like it to maybe consolidate here or have a little retrace and test this zone right here. So if I go into the 1 hour candle and have a look here, just 1 second. Okay, so let's say, all right, what are we looking at here? Okay, so basically we've had a 38.2% retrace, okay? If you pull this all the way up to the top, no, I would say we've had a 38.2% retrace. Let's see one thing quickly. All right. Yep. So 38.2% retrace. That's really bullish, guys. If this stays like this and just maintains this cloud support here, then that's really bullish. You know, we can expect Bitcoin, you know, to bump. But you know, ideally, what we want to see is on the higher time frames. Look, on the 4 hour, it's a little bit overbought here, and you know, the stochastic RSI can do with a oscillation down as well. Let's see the 6 hour. You know, it's it's extremely bullish, guys, but we could do with some correction here, okay? But if we correct down, then you know, if we correct down, guys, then let's have a look from here. If we take the move from here, yeah, if we take the move from there, then what we could do is maybe come down to the 50% range here. Okay, so if we have a nice little correction, because we can see on the 6 hour and the 12 hour, we can possibly expect a correction. Okay, so it would be healthy to have a 50% correction back down to this level here, back down to around the 4600 zone. So that's what I'd like to see. And if we take this from this bottom zone here, yeah, if we take the whole move as one impulse, then basically the 50% zone would be testing the 45, just above the 4,500. You can see the 50% zone is 4,500. So that's some kind of direct correlation there. If we take the 1 hour cloud, yeah, it would be heading towards the 1 hour cloud. So if you take this down here, maybe bounce off the 1 hour cloud just above 4,500, and I'd say about 4,550, something like that. Yeah, that's a possibility. Alternatively, guys, you could say this is creating a bull flag and it would just consolidate here and then just spike up, because what happens with a bull flag is, you know, it tends to, say for example, you've got the flagpole here and then it just consolidates here and then it just spikes up like that and then comes back down and then heads back up. If that does happen, guys, that's the most bullish possible scenario. That's the most bullish possible scenario we could have. But if that does happen, if it does burst out of it, there's two things. First of all, we're going to get really overbought very quickly, so we will need a pullback and back to test this all-time high at 49.20 or whatever, 4,900, right? That's one thing to keep in mind. Okay, the second thing to keep in mind is once we have that little pullback, a little correction or whatever, once we pass this zone, guys, it's going to be like pouring petrol on fire. Basically, it's going to be like, you know, it's just going to ignite. Like the price is just going to, because this is going to be like a blue sky breakout. What I mean by that is basically there is no other areas of resistance. You know, if you look left, I mean, you know, if you're coming up here, you can see there's support and resistance zones on the left. We can see all of these zones. They're, you know, they're acting as support and resistance. But if we break out of here, we've got no reference here to as resistance. So it's just, you know, there's going to be a whole lot of people jumping on it, you know, and pushing the price higher and higher. And again, that is going to have a negative effect on the altcoin market temporarily. Okay. But the thing to remember is that money going into Bitcoin, eventually it will spill over into the altcoins as well. So the key is, right, if you're holding and it's already dropped like 10, 20, 30%, then don't bother selling. There's no point in you selling, because, you know, it can have a 10, 20, 30% bounce. Once like Bitcoin starts to consolidate a bit and takes a breather, then the money can start to flow back into the altcoin market as well, right? Especially if they're good altcoins with good projects. They're, you know, they're really the ones that you should be kind of holding. You know, in terms of like the crappy altcoins, let's say, you shouldn't really be holding them long term. You should just be flipping them if you're going into them, right? And if they're low volume, then you shouldn't be investing too much into them, even if it's short term. So that's it from me, guys. You know, I hope that helps, hope that makes sense. Let me know your thoughts, give me a thumbs up, smash that like button if you did like it, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.